Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get you straight to the knowledge. You know when you're scrolling online maybe,
Yeah.
or just searching for something, and you see these completely baseless rumors pop up, especially about celebrities, public figures, that someone's died. It makes you stop, right? It makes you think, wait, what? Is that actually true?
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time. The internet, it can make almost anything seem believable for a moment.
It really can, especially with repeated headlines and those search suggestions.
Exactly.
So today we're doing a deep dive into a really prominent example of this. We're looking at the career, the enduring career of Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
Right, Theo Huxtable for so many people. The Cosby Show, an iconic role, no question.
Huge. Launched him into millions of homes. But let's be absolutely clear right up front. Despite what feels like a ton of online searches, things like, is Malcolm-Jamal Warner dead? Or even really specific weird ones like Malcolm-Jamal Warner drowning.
Which are completely false.
Completely. Unequivocally. He is alive. He is thriving. As of today, Monday, July 21st, 2025, he is very much active, very much working.
Yeah. So our mission today, it's kind of twofold, isn't it? First, we want to just definitively shut down these rumors, these things that plague public figures like Warner.
Get the facts straight.
Exactly. And second, we want to give you the full picture, the true picture of his career, because it's remarkable, really multifaceted, way beyond just Theo. We'll look at his work as an actor, sure, but also as a director, a musician, give you the whole scope.
And, why should you care? Beyond just this one actor. Well, because this whole situation, it tells us a lot about online misinformation, how it works, how it spreads.
It's fascinating and, frankly, a bit frustrating sometimes.
Totally. So we're going to unpack how these rumors get started, why they stick around, and understanding that, well, that's a really useful shortcut to being better informed, generally, in this digital age.
Definitely. So let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. The sheer volume of false info out there about Malcolm-Jamal Warner's well-being, it's genuinely staggering.
It really is. You see the search trends, the social media posts, but no, Malcolm-Jamal Warner did not die.
Zero credible reports. None. From any reputable news source.
And that specific detail you mentioned, Malcolm-Jamal Warner drowning in Costa Rica, pure fabrication, sensationalism for clicks.
Exactly. Clickbait. That's what drives so much of it. Queries like Malcolm-Jamal Warner death or Theo died.
Yeah.
They usually come from content designed just to grab your attention, make you click, even if the headline is totally misleading.
It shows how fast this stuff can spread online, right? Unverified information just takes off.
Yeah. And what's interesting is Warner himself has sometimes, addressed these rumors.
He has, often with a bit of humor, actually, which is quite graceful, considering.
It really is. But it shows the reality, doesn't it? Public figures sometimes have to actively fight against completely made-up stories about themselves.
And the fact that so many people are searching, is Malcolm-Jamal Warner dead, just shows how effective this misinformation can be. It really gets lodged in people's minds.
So let's reiterate. As of July 2025, he is working. He's starring in TV shows, he's making music, he's out there making public appearances.
His work continues, that's the reality. His contributions to the arts are ongoing.
Okay, so let's talk about where it all started for most people. Theo Huxtable, The Cosby Show.
Right, you have to start there. 1984, that show wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural phenomenon.
Oh, completely. It changed the game for how African-American families were shown on TV, became the anchor of NBC's must-see TV.
And Warner played Theo, the only son of Cliff and Claire. He was just so relatable.
He really was. That typical teenager, kind of navigating school, girls, what he wants to do with his life. Often funny. Sometimes a bit goofy.
And you watched him grow up over 8 seasons, right? Dealing with dyslexia, which was pretty groundbreaking to show on mainstream TV back then.
Huge, yeah. Exploring jobs, relationships, Warner's performance, it felt really authentic. People loved Theo.
Millions did. All over the world.
And his scenes with Bill Cosby as Cliff Huxtable, they were often the heart of the show, weren't they? Funny, yeah, but also touching on real stuff. Father-son things, education, life lessons.
Absolutely. The show was consistently top-rated. It made Warner a household name overnight, basically. A role model for a whole generation.
And that early experience being on such a massive hit, it also gave him exposure behind the camera too, didn't it?
It did. He got into directing episodes of The Cosby Show itself. That insight, seeing production from that side so young, that's clearly been important for his whole career, for his longevity.
Okay, but then, Then there's the other side.
Yeah.
The really difficult, complex part.
Right. The legacy of the show and everyone involved, it's been massively complicated by the allegations against Bill Cosby. His conviction, even though it was later overturned, it changed everything.
It forced this huge reevaluation of the show's place in history.
Yeah.
And it definitely impacted the careers and perceptions of the cast.
It put them in an incredibly tough spot. Warner, the other cast members, how do you navigate that? Your connection to the show that made you famous versus the public's very understandable reaction to what came out about its star.
Yeah.
And Warner, I think, has handled it very thoughtfully. He's spoken about the complex feelings, acknowledging the show's positive impact, but also the deep pain caused by Cosby's actions.
He seems to have kept a respectful distance from Cosby personally, while still valuing his own experience on the show itself.
Yeah, exactly. A very professional, careful approach.
And it's that resilience, navigating that complexity, continuing to work and be in the public eye. It just makes these bizarre death rumors seem even more baffling.
It really does. Because he didn't just fade away after Cosby. Not at all. He built this incredibly diverse career over decades.
Showing real versatility,
Exactly.
actor, director, musician.
That's right. His filmography, his TV credits, they show someone who kept working, kept evolving. After Cosby ended in '92, he made a point of looking for roles that were different, that let him grow beyond Theo.
And he found them, like Malcolm and Eddie, that sitcom with Eddie Griffin on UPN.
Right. 1996 to 2000, he played the more mature, responsible character there, showed his comedic timing as an adult.
That later remember him on Community.
Yeah. Andre, Shirley's ex-husband, 2011-2012, fit right into that really sharp ensemble comedy.
But he also moved into drama quite deliberately.
He did. Major Crimes, the TNT drama. He was LT Chuck Cooper for several seasons, 2013 to 2018. That was a solid, dramatic role showing a different side.
And then American Crime Story. The People, V.O.J. Simpson in 2016. He played Al Cowlings.
Yes. Received a lot of praise for that as part of that incredible ensemble cast, bringing that whole event back to life.
But I think for a lot of people recently, the big one was Dr. A.J. Austin, the Raptor.
Oh, definitely. On The Resident, the FOX medical drama from 2018 until it ended in 2023.
Brilliant surgeon, kind of arrogant at first.
Right. But then you saw his character arc, becoming more empathetic, really beloved by the end. That role really connected with viewers.
Yeah, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the Resident. That became a really familiar thing for people watching primetime. Showed he could carry serious, dramatic storylines.
And like you mentioned earlier, he directs, too. It wasn't just a one-off thing on Cosby.
No, he kept doing it. Directed episodes of Malcolm and Eddie, Nickelodeon shows like All That and Keenan and Kel.
It shows a real understanding of the whole TV production process, not just acting. Artistic versatility.
Okay, and here's something that might actually surprise some people. The music.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a really accomplished musician, a bassist.
And singer, spoken word artist. He's released albums. Jazz, R&B fusion.
The Groove Prince here, Selfless.
And get this, his 2015 album, MJW, was nominated for a Grammy.
For Best Spoken Word Album. That's incredible.
It really is. Blends jazz, funk, spoken word. He performs regularly, too. It's clearly a real passion for him beyond the acting.
So, yeah, primarily TV, but he's done films too. Maybe not huge blockbusters, but roles in movies like The Cleanup Crew, Restaurant, The Comedian.
Working across different genres, keeping busy.
Exactly.
So you have this long, active career, this multifaceted talent. And yet even his private life gets tangled up in these online rumors sometimes. People search for, Malcolm-Jamal Warner wife or Malcolm-Jamal Warner kids.
They do. And as of now, July 2025, he is married to Jessica Williams, an actress and dancer.
Right. They reportedly married around 2017, and they have a daughter also born around then.
But he tends to keep his family life very private. Doesn't talk about it much publicly.
Which is totally understandable.
Completely. But sometimes that desire for privacy can kind of inadvertently create a vacuum where speculation or even false rumors can creep in because there's just less verified public information.
That makes sense. And before his current marriage, he had some high-profile relationships, too.
Yes, with Michelle Thomas, who played his girlfriend Justine on The Cosby Show.
And tragically, she passed away young from cancer back in 1998.
Right. And that specific point is actually quite key, potentially. It's possible some of the confusion, these persistent false death rumors, might stem from people conflating his life with the real tragedy of someone closely connected to him, like Michelle Thomas.
That's a really interesting point. He also dated Karen Molina White from a different world and had a long relationship with Regina King.
Mm-hmm. And just to touch on it, since people search for it, Malcolm-Jamal Warner net worth reports estimated around $10 to $12 million as of 2025.
Which reflects, decades of consistent work. The Cosby Show earnings, yes, but also everything since then. Acting, directing, music.
It shows how steady work and diversifying your talents can build a career and wealth in this industry, even if you're not, say, a huge movie star.
Okay, so this brings us right back to the core issue. These rumors, the death rumors, that specific drowning story, they're just such a stark example of how misinformation works online.
They really are. When people search TMZ, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, or just who died today, they might stumble across this fake stuff.
That Costa Rica drowning thing feels like a classic internet hoax, doesn't it? Maybe mixing up details from some other unrelated event or just totally made up for shock value.
Absolutely. And beyond just clickbait, there's this psychological element too. The illusory truth effect.
Ah, right. The more you hear something, even if it's completely false.
The more familiar it feels, and the more likely you are to start thinking, well, maybe there's something to it, even subconsciously.
And like you said, the confusion with real tragedies involving other people, especially maybe others connected to Cosby who have passed away, like Michelle Thomas, that adds another layer of potential confusion.
It likely does. So why do these things stick around so stubbornly?
Yeah, why?
Well, false death reports are, unfortunately, a pretty common tactic for shady websites or social media accounts. They want clicks, they want ad revenue.
Exploiting emotion, curiosity.
Exactly. And things spread incredibly fast before anyone has a chance to verify them. Plus, the algorithms on social media.
The code that decides what we see in our feeds.
Right. Those algorithms can accidentally amplify these hoaxes. They see something getting a lot of clicks or shares, and they push it out to more people, making it seem more legitimate or widely believed than it actually is.
So a really key insight here is just pause. Before you share something shocking like that, just take a second. Do a quick search on a couple of actual news sites.
Yes. That simple step can break the cycle of amplification. It's about critical thinking, isn't it? Verifying info from multiple reputable sources.
Especially before believing or spreading these kinds of claims. The fact that so many searches for "is Malcolm-Jamal Warner dead?" exist really just hammers home how powerful these rumors are, even when they fly in the face of reality.
Mm-hmm.
So wrapping things up, we've looked at Malcolm-Jamal Warner's career, right? From Theo, this cultural icon, all the way to his current work, The Resident, is directing that Grammy-nominated music.
A really resilient and varied career.
And the main point, the most crucial takeaway, he is very much alive. He's still contributing, still creating.
Absolutely. And we've seen how those false searches, Malcolm-Jamal Warner death, they really highlight the power of these rumors. Fueled by clickbait, maybe by psychology, maybe even confusion with real sad events like Michelle Thomas passing away.
Yeah.
And reflecting on all this, his ongoing career versus these persistent false rumors, it does raise a bigger question, I think, for you, for all of us listening.
Well,
in this age of just instant information, algorithms pushing stuff at us constantly, how do we get better at telling fact from fiction? How do we cultivate those critical thinking skills?
right.
And maybe what responsibility do we have as people who consume and sometimes share information to slow down the spread of this unverified stuff, whether it's about a public figure or really about anyone?
That's definitely something to think about as you go about your day. This has been The Deep Dive. We hope we've given you plenty to mull over.